Hi, I'm Rebecca Corbin. This is my interview about racism.
Okay, Rebecca, can you tell me what prejudice is?
It means prejudged, and when you prejudge somebody, you judge them of what they look or what their color is.
When do you judge them? After you get to know them?
Before you get to know them.
Okay. So, if prejudice is judging somebody before you get to know them, then what is racism?
It's prejudging by color.
Okay.
Well, basically that.
Based on their race, okay.
Yeah.
So how long has racism and prejudice been around?
Prejudice has been around ever since mankind. Racism has been around ever since somebody was a race. Ever since race, how people are races.
Okay. So, in American history, tell me about racism in American history. When did that start to be a problem?
When the people came from England, they went and bought slaves, and that's how it was originally started.
So, was that legal? Was it legal to have slaves back then?
Yeah, it was totally illegal. Well, legal, not illegal.
So, when did that change?
Ever since the Civil War.
Okay, what happened in the Civil War?
The Civil War what happened in the Civil War was when the Northern and Southern came and fought, because the Southern said, oh yeah, it's cool having slaves and it'll make life easier, but like North was like, that's not cool.
So when the North won the Civil War, what happened then?
They made a civil rights movement, and
well, what happened to the law?
It got changed.
What was the new law?
That slaves weren't allowed.
Okay, so did that mean now that black people had the same rights as white people?
Not at all.
So when did that begin to change?
When Martin Luther King made a march, and he had one of peaceful, how do you say peaceful?
Protests.
Protests. I can't really say that word.
So what movement was Martin Luther King a part of?
He was in this...
What was the movement called that he was a part of?
Civil rights.
Yep, the civil rights. That was a fight for the rights. You'd said before that that you couldn't have slaves, but also then there were people who did not have the same civil rights. So it was a fight for their rights.
Their rights.
Was Martin Luther King the only one?
No, he led a lot of people into it.
And he believed in peaceful protests. So you talked about his dream. His speech where he talked about his dream. What was Martin Luther King's dream?
He had two dreams. One was where black and white people had the same rights. The second dream was when Martin Luther King, he wanted people to see each other as people and not of their color, nothing, not judge them, just know them and kill racism.
Okay, that's good. Do you remember what segregation was?
I can't say that word.
Segregation?
Segregation? That's how you say it?
Yes.
Where they try to separate the black and white. Like they said, oh, blacks can go to blacks had the same right, but the blacks have to go to a different school than white kids. And Martin Luther King said, if they're separate, they're not equal.
That's exactly right. So that's right. They tried to say, we'll give you equal rights, but they'll be separate. Everything will be separate. And you're right. Martin Luther King said, if it's separate, it's not equal. So did black people and people of color eventually get the same rights as white people?
Of course.
Did Martin Luther King's other dream of racism ending and people looking at each other for who they are, did that go away?
No.
So racism still exists. What can you do to help in that fight today?
What I can do is, I can't really change other people's opinions, but what I can do is not judge them by their color, but I get to know them, and then
how will you treat them?
I'll treat them the way I want to be treated.
Sounds good.